Before we dive in, please remember that this video is for informational and educational purposes only. I am not a licensed financial advisor or insurance agent. The information presented here is not a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions, and remember to do your own research. You get that email, that one you've been dreading. Your car insurance is up for renewal and the price, it's gone up. Again, you haven't had an accident. You haven't gotten a single ticket. Your car is a year older, it's worth less, yet somehow you're expected to pay more. And deep down, you should shop around. You're probably overpaying. But then you think about the process. The absolute soul-crushing nightmare of it all. You'd have to go to 5, maybe 10 different websites. You'd have to fill out the same information over and over and over again. Your name, your address, your driver's license number, your car's VIN, the exact dates of that fender bender from 4 years ago. And for what? To get a flood of emails and a dozen phone calls from aggressive sales agents trying to hit their monthly quota. It's a broken system. It's designed to be so frustrating that you just give up, sigh, and pay the higher premium. You just accept it. But what if that entire miserable process was a thing of the past? What if you could have dozens of the biggest insurance companies in the country compete for your business, automatically, without filling out a single long form or talking to a single salesperson? And what if it took less than a minute? That's the promise of Jerry. You've seen the ads, you've heard the name. An AI-powered app that claims to do all the shopping for you, for free, and save the average user over $900 a year. Sounds too good to be true. And that's exactly why we're here today. We are going to pull back the curtain and do a deep dive into exactly what Jerry is, how it actually works, how it makes its money, and most importantly, whether it can genuinely save you from the headache and the overpayment of car insurance. By the end of this, you will understand this platform inside and out, and you'll know if it's the right tool to put hundreds of dollars back in your pocket. So let's start at the very beginning. What happens when you download the Jerry app? The first thing people notice is that it doesn't ask you a million questions. Instead, it asks for one very specific, very personal piece of information: the login for your current car insurance provider. And right there, that's the first red flag for a lot of people. Wait a minute, you want my username and password for my Geico account? My Progressive account? No way. And that's a completely valid reaction. We're all taught to never ever share our passwords. So why do they ask for it? This is the absolute core of how their technology works. Jerry isn't trying to steal your data. It's trying to steal your workload. By securely connecting to your current insurance account, their AI can instantly pull all the critical information it needs. It sees the exact car you have, the VIN, the make, the model. It sees who is listed on your policy. And most critically, it sees the exact coverage you have right now. Your liability limits, your collision deductible, your comprehensive deductible, rental car reimbursement. All of it. This is the secret sauce. This is what allows them to skip the 20-minute questionnaire. Because now, they have a perfect one-to-one blueprint of your current policy. And they can take that blueprint and go out to their network of over 50 different insurance carriers, companies like Progressive, Allstate, Travelers, Nationwide, and say, hey, here is our customer. Here is their driving record. Here is their exact coverage. Can you beat their current price? This is the fundamental difference you have to understand. Jerry is not an insurance company. They don't underwrite policies. They don't handle claims. They are an insurance broker. Think of them as a personal shopper for insurance. Your personal shopper knows your size, your style, and your budget. You don't have to go to 10 different stores and try on 100 different pairs of pants. You send your shopper, and they come back with the best options that are a perfect fit. That's what Jerry does. It takes your perfect fit coverage needs and shops them around to all the major stores, instantly. The old way. You are the shopper. You have to drive to every single store, find the right department, talk to a different salesperson at each one, and tell them your size and style over and over again. It's exhausting. The new way, the Jerry way, is to automate that entire process. You provide the blueprint one time and the AI does all the legwork. Now, let's talk about that security concern again, because it's the biggest hurdle. The company states they use bank-level, 256-bit encryption, and are compliant with all the major data security standards. Essentially, they're using the same type of security that your banking app or a platform like Mint would use to connect to your financial accounts. The connection is read-only, meaning the app can only view your policy details. It can't make changes, it can't cancel your policy, it can't move money around. Its sole purpose is to gather the data needed to get you an apples-to-apples quote. It's a calculated risk for sure. You're trading a piece of data for the convenience of saving hours of time and potentially hundreds of dollars. For millions of users, that trade-off has been worth it. Once the AI has your data, the magic happens in about 45 seconds. It runs your profile against all of its partner carriers. It's like a high-speed auction where insurance companies are bidding for your business. And what comes back is a list of quotes presented right there in the app. But it's not just a list of prices. This is key. It shows you the price right next to the coverage so you can clearly see if it's the same, better, or worse than what you have now. The goal isn't just to find you the absolute cheapest piece of paper that calls itself an insurance policy. The goal is to find you the best value, either the same coverage you have now for a lower price, or even better coverage for a similar price. The power is in the comparison. You can see side by side your current premium versus a quote from another major carrier. There's no guesswork. You're not wondering, did I lower my liability limits to get that price? The app makes it transparent. So the concept is simple. Automate the ridiculously tedious process of comparison shopping. Use technology to do in seconds what would take a human being hours of frustrating work. But the next logical question is, what do these results actually look like? Are these real quotes? And how much money are people really saving? Is that $900 figure just a flashy marketing number? Or is it a realistic expectation? And what happens when you actually choose one of these new quotes? How do you make the switch? That's the most important part of the puzzle, and we're going to break down that entire process step by step. First, let's talk about the switch itself because that's where the rubber meets the road. For most of us, the idea of switching car insurance brings on a cold sweat. It conjures up images of being stuck on hold for 45 minutes, listening to terrible music, only to be transferred to 3 different departments before you can even say the word cancel. It feels like breaking up with a clingy ex who just won't take the hint. You know you need to do it, but the anticipated hassle, the paperwork, the awkward conversations, it's enough to make you just stick with what you have, even if you're overpaying by hundreds of dollars a year. This is the single biggest hurdle in the insurance industry. And it's the problem Jerry was built to solve. They understood that finding a cheaper quote is only half the battle. The real victory is making the switch painless. So, when you're inside the Jerry app and you see that quote from, say, Progressive or Nationwide that's going to save you $60 a month, what happens when you tap that big beautiful buy button? This is where the magic happens. You don't get redirected to another website. You don't have to fill out all your information again. You don't get a phone number to call. Instead, you stay right inside the Jerry app. Jerry will ask you to confirm a few final details and provide a payment method for the new policy. That's it. Your part of the heavy lifting is done. You've spent maybe 2 minutes. From that moment on, you've essentially handed the keys to your personal insurance concierge. Behind the scenes, Jerry's team of licensed insurance agents gets to work immediately. And these are real licensed professionals in the United States, not some automated bot. The first thing they do is secure your new policy with the carrier you chose. They use the information you already provided to bind the policy, ensuring the rate is locked in and your coverage is active starting on the date you specified. They make sure all the details are correct, the vehicle identification numbers, the coverage limits, the listed drivers. They are dotting the I's and crossing the T's so you don't have to. Simultaneously, and this is the most crucial part, they begin the process of breaking up with your old insurance company on your behalf. They get on the phone with your old provider. They navigate the phone trees, wait on hold, and speak to the retention specialist whose entire job is to try and convince you to stay. They handle all of it. They will officially cancel your old policy, making sure it terminates on the exact day your new policy begins. This is incredibly important. They orchestrate it perfectly to ensure you have zero lapse in coverage. You are never, not for 1 second, uninsured and driving illegally. You are also never double paying for coverage, not even for a single day. The transition is seamless. Now let's talk about the money. Most people pay for their insurance months in advance. So if you cancel midterm, what happens to the money you've already paid for the upcoming weeks or months? Your old insurance company owes you a refund for that unused portion. This is called a prorated refund. But getting that refund can sometimes be another hassle. You have to follow up, make sure they processed it, and wait for the check to arrive. Guess what? Jerry handles that too. They confirm with your old carrier that the refund is being processed and will be sent to you directly. They take ownership of the entire life cycle of the switch, from purchase to cancellation to refund confirmation. Within minutes or hours of you tapping buy, you'll receive an email with your new, official insurance documents and your proof of insurance cards. You can also access these cards instantly 24/7, right inside the Jerry app. No more fumbling through your glove compartment during a traffic stop. It's right there on your phone. So let's just recap that process. You find a quote you like. You tap a button. You confirm payment. Then you go about your day. You go to work, you watch a movie, you live your life. While you're doing that, a team of licensed professionals is on the phone, handling the administrative nightmare of switching insurance carriers for you. They buy the new plan, cancel the old one, and ensure your refund is on its way. You get all the savings with none of the headache. It sounds almost too good to be true, right? There has to be a catch. How can they afford to have licensed agents spending time on the phone for you, completely for free? This is the most common question, and the answer is actually very simple and transparent. Jerry operates as a licensed insurance broker. This is a very established business model. When you buy a policy from Progressive, for example, through the Jerry app, Progressive pays Jerry a standard commission. It's the same commission they would pay any other agent or broker who sold their policy. The crucial thing to understand is that this commission does not come out of your pocket. It does not increase your rate. The price you see in the Jerry app is the exact same price you would get if you went directly to that insurer's website and filled out everything yourself. The insurance company is essentially paying Jerry for bringing them a new customer. You get the benefit of their price shopping technology and their white glove switching service, and it costs you absolutely nothing extra. You get the lowest possible rate, plus a personal assistant to handle the switch. That's the business model. It's a win for you, a win for the insurance company, and a win for Jerry. This model completely flips the old way of doing things on its head. In the past, the burden was entirely on you. You had to be the expert. You had to do the research, fill out the forms, make the calls, and manage the transition. Jerry's entire premise is that you shouldn't have to. You should be able to leverage technology to find the best deal, and then leverage a professional service to execute the change without any friction. Think of it like this. You could spend hours researching individual recipes, driving to 5 different grocery stores to get the best price on each ingredient, then go home and spend 2 hours cooking and cleaning. Or you could use an app to have a delicious, affordable meal delivered to your door. Jerry is the delivery app for car insurance. It saves you time, it saves you money, and it saves you the immense hassle of doing it all yourself. The average savings of over $900 a year that Jerry advertises starts to make a lot more sense when you see how the system works. It's not a gimmick. It's the result of systematically removing all the friction that prevents people from switching to a cheaper plan. When you make it this easy, people can switch every 6 months or every year, whenever a better deal comes along, constantly ensuring they're not overpaying. The savings compound over time. But this all hinges on one very important question. The process sounds great, but who are these insurance companies Jerry is getting quotes from? Are they big, reputable names that you can trust to be there if you actually get in an accident? Or is it a bunch of small, no-name companies you've never heard of? The quality of the product still matters more than anything. A cheap, unreliable policy isn't a good deal. It's a liability. So, what caliber of insurance carriers are we actually dealing with here? Let's dig into the partners that make up Jerry's marketplace. Think of Jerry not as an insurance company, but as a massive, bustling digital supermall for insurance. You don't buy shoes from the mall. You buy them from Nike or Adidas or a small boutique inside the mall. Jerry is the supermall. And the stores inside? They are a carefully curated collection of over 50 different insurance carriers. This is the single most important concept to grasp. Jerry doesn't underwrite your policy. Jerry doesn't pay your claims. Jerry is the expert matchmaker, the high-tech broker that brings all the real insurance companies to one table to fight for your business. So, who are these companies? Are we talking about a flea market of obscure, unheard-of brands? Or are we talking about a high-end shopping district? The answer is both. And that's the genius of it. First, you have the titans, the household names, the companies you see advertised during every single football game. We're talking about giants like Progressive, Nationwide, Travelers, and Allstate. These are the financial behemoths, the old guard of the insurance world. They have brand recognition that's been built over decades, and a sense of stability that many people find comforting. The question is, why would these massive companies, with their billion-dollar advertising budgets, even bother playing in Jerry's sandbox? The answer is simple: customers. Jerry delivers them something they crave more than anything else: a constant stream of serious, ready-to-buy shoppers. Instead of spending a fortune on a 30-second commercial hoping you'll remember their name later, they can partner with Jerry and be put directly in front of someone who is actively looking to switch their policy right now. It's a hyper-efficient way for them to acquire new customers. For you, this is a massive win. It means you get to see how your current big-name provider actually stacks up against its direct rivals, right there on the same screen in real time. There's no hiding behind a catchy jingle when the pure, cold numbers are laid out in front of you. But if Jerry only offered the big guys, it would just be a slightly more convenient price checker. The real power comes from the next layer of partners, the challengers. These are the digital-first upstarts, the tech-savvy disruptors looking to shake up a century-old industry. Companies like Clearcover or Root, who were built from the ground up on modern technology. They often don't have thousands of physical agent offices to maintain. Their overhead is lower, their apps are slicker, and they often pass those savings on to the consumer in the form of lower premiums. These are the companies that are innovating with things like telematics, using your smartphone to reward good driving habits with real discounts. For a safe driver who is comfortable with technology, these challengers can often provide a policy that is not only cheaper, but more tailored to a modern lifestyle. By including these companies, Jerry ensures you're not just seeing options from the past, you're seeing the future of insurance too. It prevents you from getting locked into an old-world price structure, when a new-world option might save you hundreds of dollars a year. And then we get to the most interesting and, for many people, the most valuable category of partners, the specialists. These are the carriers you've probably never heard of, but who are absolute masters of a specific niche. Think about it. A giant like Allstate has to create policies that work for everyone. From a teenager in rural Nebraska with a pickup truck to a retiree in Miami with a luxury sedan. They have to play the averages. But a specialist carrier might focus only on a specific type of driver. There are companies that specialize in providing affordable coverage for drivers who've had a DUI or a few accidents. While the big brands might see you as a high-risk liability and charge you an astronomical rate or deny you altogether, a specialist understands your situation and has built a business model around it. There are other carriers that specialize in classic cars, or drivers with low mileage, or even specific geographic regions. Let's imagine a driver, we'll call her Maria. Maria lives in a dense city, has a perfect driving record, but because of her zip code and the high rate of claims in her area, her premium with her big-name insurer is through the roof. She feels like she's being punished just for where she lives. She tries Jerry. Jerry shows her a quote from Progressive, which is $50 cheaper. Okay, not bad. It shows her a quote from a tech-focused challenger, which is $100 cheaper if she uses their driving app. Interesting. But then it pulls up a quote from a smaller, regional carrier she's never heard of. Let's call them Urban Shield Insurance. They specialize in urban drivers with good records. Their entire risk model is built around people exactly like Maria. Their quote is $400 cheaper per year for the exact same coverage. Maria has never seen an Urban Shield commercial. Her local agent would never have mentioned them. But because Jerry's marketplace is so deep and diverse, it unearthed this hidden gem that was the perfect fit for her specific, unique situation. That's the power of combining the titans, the challengers, and the specialists. You get the full spectrum of what the market has to offer, not just the most heavily advertised sliver of it. Now I know what you're thinking. Urban Shield Insurance? I've never heard of them. Are they legit? If I get into a wreck, are they actually going to have the money to pay my claim? This is a critical question, and it's where Jerry's role as a curator becomes so important. This isn't an open-to-all flea market where any company can set up a stall. Every single one of the 50-plus carriers on Jerry's platform has to go through a rigorous vetting process. They don't just look at the prices a company offers, they look at the health of the company itself. The most important metric they check is a company's financial strength rating, typically from an agency called AM Best. Think of an AM Best rating as a credit score for an insurance company. It's an independent grade of their financial stability and their ability to meet their obligations. In other words, to pay your claims. Jerry prioritizes partners with the ratings, which signifies that they are stable, secure, and have the cash reserves to handle claims, even in the event of a large-scale catastrophe. They also scrutinize customer service records, complaint ratios, and the efficiency of their claims process. So that company you've never heard of, Urban Shield? Before Jerry even showed you their quote, they already made sure it had a stellar financial rating and a solid track record of paying its customers. This vetting process is the safety net. It allows you to benefit from the competitive pricing of smaller, specialized carriers without having to worry about whether they're a fly-by-night operation. It combines the breadth of a massive marketplace with the security of a curated, high-quality selection. So you have this massive, curated marketplace of over 50 carriers, from global giants to nimble specialists, all vetted for financial stability. They're all gathered in one place, forced to compete head-to-head for your business. But how does Jerry sift through all that noise? How does its technology instantly scan dozens of these carriers and pinpoint the one single policy that's perfect for your specific car, your driving habits, and your wallet? That's where the real magic, the secret sauce, comes in. And it's not what you think. It's an AI, but not the kind you're thinking of. This isn't some dumb calculator that just looks at price tags. This is a sophisticated, learning, evolving intelligence designed with one single purpose: to act as your personal, unbiased insurance agent, your advocate, your secret weapon in a war you probably didn't even know you were losing. Think about the old way. You get a quote from a big-name company. What are you actually seeing? You're seeing the one or two products they are allowed to sell you. It's like walking into a Ford dealership and asking the salesman, "What's the best car for me?" He is never ever going to tell you it's a Toyota, even if it is. He's incentivized to sell you a Ford. Insurance agents are the exact same. They work for the insurance company, not for you. They have quotas to meet and commissions to earn. Their goal is to sell you their policy, not necessarily the best policy. Now, think about the comparison websites. They seem better, right? You put in your info and get a list of prices. But here's the dirty little secret. Many of those sites are just lead generators. They sell your information to hungry agents who then call you, and text you and email you into oblivion. And the quotes they show you, they're often just estimates, teasers designed to get you on the hook. And worse, they're almost never comparing apples to apples. One quote might have a $500 deductible, while another has a $2,000 deductible. One might include rental car reimbursement, the other doesn't. You're left trying to decipher a mountain of jargon, trying to figure out if you're actually getting a better deal or just buying a worse product. It's exhausting, and it's designed to be. Confusion benefits the seller, not the buyer. Jerry's technology was built to burn that entire broken system to the ground. It starts by fundamentally changing who has the power. The first step is what they call the digital garage. When you sign up, you give the app secure, read-only permission to connect to your current insurance account. This is a game changer. You don't have to go digging through filing cabinets for your policy declaration page. You don't have to remember your exact liability limits or what your comprehensive deductible is. Jerry's AI securely logs in, reads your entire current policy in a fraction of a second, and imports every last detail. It knows your coverage, your vehicles, your listed drivers, your renewal date, everything. And let's be clear about the security here. This is the same bank-level 256-bit encryption that your financial institutions use. Jerry can only look, it can't touch. Your information is locked down tighter than Fort Knox. Once it has your current policy, the real work begins. This is where the magic happens. The AI doesn't just look for a cheaper price. That's amateur hour. It starts by creating a perfect one-to-one duplicate of your existing coverage. This is the baseline. The goal is to find you the exact same safety net you have now, or better, for less money. It then takes this baseline and runs it through its network of over 50 top-tier insurance carriers. We're talking about the big guys, Progressive, Allstate, Nationwide, Travelers, but also incredible, highly rated regional insurers you may have never even heard of who might offer insane value in your specific area. But it's not just running one search. This is what sets it apart. The Jerry AI is like a master detective. It starts asking questions on your behalf that you wouldn't even know to ask. It analyzes your data and starts looking for discount triggers. For example, it might see from your car's VIN that you have anti-lock brakes and daytime running lights. Boom! It automatically applies for those discounts. It might see your profession and know that certain carriers offer a discount for teachers or engineers or first responders. Boom! Another discount applied. It looks at your driving record. Clean for 3 years? There's a discount for that. Are you a homeowner? You might qualify for a massive bundling discount, even if you don't insure your home with the same company. The AI knows these hidden synergies. It's running hundreds, even thousands of these microsimulations in seconds. It's testing different combinations. What if we slightly increase the deductible on comprehensive but not collision? How does that affect the rate with carrier A versus carrier B? What if we add roadside assistance? Is it cheaper to get it through the insurer or a third-party service? The algorithm is constantly weighing risk versus reward, cost versus benefit, all calibrated to your specific profile. It's doing the work of a team of 100 brilliant, obsessive-compulsive insurance brokers simultaneously, all in the time it takes you to pour a cup of coffee. Let's make this real. Imagine a driver named Mark. Mark lives in Texas, drives a 2019 Ford F-150, and has been with the same insurance company for 8 years. He's a loyal customer. He pays his bill about $200 a month and never thinks about it. He assumes his loyalty is being rewarded. So Mark downloads Jerry. He connects his current account. The Jerry AI instantly sees his policy. It sees he has 100/300/100 liability coverage, a $1,000 deductible, and no rental reimbursement. The first thing the AI does is create that exact policy as a template. Then it goes to work. Within about 45 seconds, the AI discovers 5 critical things Mark didn't know. First, his current carrier implemented a rate revision in his specific zip code 3 months ago, jacking up his premium by 8% without him even realizing it. His loyalty wasn't being rewarded, it was being penalized. Second, the AI sees that Mark is a member of USAA, which makes him eligible for a partner discount with Progressive that his current agent never told him about. Third, it identifies that his F-150 has an advanced anti-theft system that qualifies for a 15% discount on his comprehensive coverage with several carriers. Fourth, it checks his driving record and finds it spotless, qualifying him for an accident-free discount that is significantly more generous at Nationwide than at his current company. And fifth, it realizes that by paying his premium in full every 6 months instead of monthly, he can save another $60 a year. The AI takes all of this new information, all of these unlocked discounts, and synthesizes it. It doesn't just present Mark with a confusing list of 50 options. It curates the results. It comes back and says, "Mark, here are your top 3 options. Option 1 is from Progressive. It is the exact same coverage you have right now down to the last dollar, but instead of $200 a month, it's $135 a month. That's a $780 a year saving, with zero change in your protection." Then it presents option 2. "Mark, here's a plan from Nationwide. For $140 a month, still $60 less than you pay now. We can keep all your coverage the same and lower your deductible from $1,000 to $500. The AI explains in plain English. This means if you get into an accident, your out-of-pocket cost is cut in half. Finally, it presents option 3, the Jerry recommended choice. For $150 a month, we can match your current coverage, lower your deductible to $500, and add rental car reimbursement and roadside assistance. It's a vastly superior policy, giving him more protection and more peace of mind, for $50 a month less than his old worst plan. This is the secret sauce. It's not just data, it's intelligence, it's advocacy. It's taking the complex, predatory world of auto insurance and simplifying it down to a clear, honest, and powerful choice. It transforms you from a passive price taker into an empowered, informed consumer. The technology does the hard work, the deep analysis, the complex negotiations, so that all you have to do is look at 3 simple cards and decide how much you'd like to save. So the AI has done the impossible. It's found you the perfect plan at a killer price. But now comes the part everyone dreads. The breakup call with your old insurer, the endless forms, the risk of a coverage lapse, the sheer hassle of making the switch. Right? Wrong. Jerry handles all of that too. And the way they do it is so seamless, it might be the most revolutionary part of the entire process. Let's call this process what it really is, the breakup. Breaking up with your old insurance company. And just like any breakup, it's filled with anxiety. There's that awkward, inevitable conversation you have to have. You know the one. You dial the number, navigate a phone tree designed by a labyrinth architect, and finally get a human on the line. It's probably the same agent you've been with for years. Let's call him Bob. Bob's a nice guy. He asks about your family. He remembers the make and model of your first car. And now you have to look him in the metaphorical eye and say, "Bob, it's not you, it's me. I found someone cheaper." The guilt trip begins. The retention specialist gets on the line. They offer you a tiny discount, a discount they could have given you all along but didn't. They make you question your decision. They drag it out. It's an emotional and administrative nightmare. And that's before you even get to the cancellation forms, the faxes. Yes, some still use faxes, the certified mail, the uncertainty of whether it's actually truly been canceled. This single point of friction, this one awkward phone call, is the invisible wall that keeps millions of people overpaying for car insurance every single year. It's the reason the industry can get away with loyalty taxes and price optimization. They are banking on the fact that you find the hassle of leaving to be more painful than the act of overpaying. They've weaponized inconvenience. And this is where Jerry completely flips the script. Jerry doesn't just help you find a better suited partner. Jerry handles the breakup for you. They become your personal, digital concierge for severing ties with your old insurer. Think about it. When you've gone through the quotes, found the one that saves you $100, $200, maybe over $1,000 a year, and you're ready to pull the trigger, you tap a single button in the app. That button doesn't just start a new policy. It initiates a complex, behind-the-scenes process that is the secret sauce to the whole experience. The first thing that happens is you give Jerry authorization. This sounds complicated, but it's as simple as an electronic signature or a checkbox. You are giving Jerry a very specific, limited permission to act on your behalf for one task and one task only: to cancel your old policy. This isn't some broad, sweeping power of attorney. It's a pinpoint surgical strike. You're essentially deputizing Jerry's technology to be your advocate. And then you do nothing. You put your phone down. You go make a sandwich. You continue with your day. Meanwhile, the ghost in the machine goes to work. Jerry's system, or in some cases, their dedicated team of licensed professionals, gets on the phone for you. They are the ones who navigate the phone tree. They are the ones who wait on hold. They are the ones who have the awkward conversation with Bob the agent. They have all your old policy information, your name, your address, everything needed for verification. They state clearly and unequivocally, "We are calling on behalf of our mutual customer, John Smith, to cancel policy number XYZ, effective today." They handle the retention specialist questions. They don't get emotional. They don't get flustered. They are a machine of pure efficiency executing your command. But it gets even better, because they don't just cancel it. They ensure it's done perfectly. One of the biggest fears people have when switching is the risk of a coverage lapse. What if the old policy is canceled on a Tuesday, but the new one doesn't start until Wednesday? For those 24 hours you're driving illegally. You're exposed to catastrophic financial risk. An accident during a lapse could ruin you. Jerry eliminates this risk entirely. They orchestrate the timing with digital precision. Your new policy is activated at the exact same moment, down to the minute that your old policy is terminated. It is a seamless, instantaneous handover. There is no gap. Not for a day, not for an hour, not for a second. You go to sleep insured by one company and wake up insured by another, with absolutely zero interruption in your legal protection. This is a level of peace of mind that you simply can't get when you're trying to coordinate this yourself, juggling two different companies and hoping you got the dates right. And still, the service doesn't stop there. This might be the most overlooked, yet financially significant part of the whole process. When you cancel an insurance policy that you've prepaid for, you are almost always owed a refund. It's called a prorated refund. If you paid for a 6-month policy but cancel after 3 months, you're entitled to get the other 3 months of premium back. Now, how many people do you think actually remember to follow up on that? How many people track it, call back their old insurer a few weeks later and ask, "Hey, where's my check for $250? Very few. Life gets in the way. You forget. The old insurance company certainly isn't in a hurry to remind you that they owe you money. But Jerry doesn't forget. Part of their cancellation concierge service is to secure your refund. They get confirmation of the cancellation in writing. They confirm the amount of the prorated refund you are owed. And they follow up to make sure that check is mailed or that direct deposit is initiated. They are literally clawing back money that belongs to you. Money that would have otherwise evaporated into the administrative ether of your old insurer's accounting department. So not only does Jerry save you money on your new policy, they actively recover money you're owed from your old one. This isn't just about making things easier. It's about making you financially whole. This entire system, the authorization, the cancellation call, the no-lapse guarantee, and the refund retrieval, is designed to dismantle the single greatest obstacle to a free and fair insurance market: consumer inertia. Inertia is a powerful force. It's the voice in your head that says, "Ugh, I know I'm overpaying, but switching is just too much of a hassle." It's what keeps us in bad relationships, bad jobs, and bad insurance policies. By building a technological and human-powered system to handle the entire breakup, Jerry neutralizes that inertia. They remove the hassle. They eliminate the anxiety. They take away every single excuse you have for not saving money. They've made the process of switching insurance as easy and emotion-free as unsubscribing from a streaming service. You see a better deal, you click a button, and the rest is handled for you. This is profoundly disruptive. It shifts the balance of power away from the giant, entrenched insurance carriers and puts it squarely back into the hands of you, the consumer. It means you are no longer a captive customer, held hostage by inconvenience. You are a free agent, able to move to the best deal at any time with zero friction. And that freedom is precisely what the Jerry experience is built on. But the service doesn't just stop once you've switched. In fact, that's just the beginning of your relationship with Jerry, because they have one more incredible, automated feature that ensures you never overpay for car insurance again. This is the real game changer. This is the feature that transforms Jerry from a one-time shopping tool into your permanent, lifelong advocate in the insurance world. It's called automatic reshopping, and it's designed to combat one of the dirtiest little secrets in the entire insurance industry: the loyalty tax. Have you ever wondered why your car insurance premium seems to creep up every 6 months? Even if you haven't had an accident or a ticket, you've been a perfect customer, paid on time every time. So why are they charging you more? It's because of a practice known in the industry as price optimization. That's a fancy corporate-sounding term for a simple, ugly truth. Insurance companies are betting that you're too busy, or that it's too much of a hassle, to shop around for a better deal. They slowly raise your rates little by little, knowing that most people will just sigh and pay the bill. They are literally penalizing you for your loyalty. The longer you stay, the more you're likely to overpay. It's a system designed to profit from your inaction. For decades, the only way to fight this was to mark your calendar, and every 6 months, dedicate an entire afternoon to the soul-crushing task of comparison shopping. Calling different agents, getting put on hold, repeating your name, address, and vehicle identification number over and over again, and filling out endless online forms only to be spammed with calls and emails for weeks. It's a miserable process, and the insurance companies know it. They're counting on you giving up. Jerry completely obliterates this problem. Once you've signed up and purchased a policy through them, their work isn't done. Their system keeps your information securely on file, and then, like a tireless financial watchdog, it continues to scan the market for you. Constantly. Every single day. It's checking rates from all those top providers, looking for new discounts, new offers, and new policies that could save you money. The most critical time this happens is just before your current policy is set to renew. This is the moment of truth. This is when your current insurer sends you that new bill, often with that sneaky little price hike attached. In the old world, you'd probably just pay it. But in the Jerry world, something different happens. Before you even get that renewal notice, Jerry is already on the case. Their technology has already reshopped the market for you, using your exact same coverage levels. It runs the numbers through dozens of carriers to see if your current company is still giving you the best price. And here is the beautiful, effortless part. If Jerry finds a cheaper quote for the same coverage, it notifies you directly through the app. It doesn't just tell you there's a better deal. It shows you. You'll get a simple, clear side-by-side comparison. On one side, you'll see your renewal price from your current company. On the other side, you'll see the new, cheaper quote Jerry found. It will show you the carrier, the price, and exactly how much you'll save per month and per year. There's no guesswork, no fine print to decipher. It's just the raw data. Here's what you're about to pay, and here's a better option we found. The choice is yours. And what if your current company is still the best deal? Great. Jerry will tell you that too. You'll get a notification giving you the peace of mind that you're right where you should be, and that you're not being overcharged. This isn't about switching for the sake of switching. It's about having the power of information. It's about transparency. Jerry's only loyalty is to you and your wallet, not to any specific insurance company. Think about what this fundamentally changes. You are no longer a passive participant in the insurance game. You are no longer at the mercy of a company hoping you won't notice a price increase. With Jerry, you have a persistent, automated negotiator working on your behalf 24/7 for free. It's a set-it-and-forget-it system for saving money. You do the work once, that initial 2-minute setup, and Jerry handles the rest forever. You never have to manually shop for car insurance again. You never have to wonder if you're overpaying. You never have to worry about the loyalty tax. The system is now rigged in your favor. When that notification comes in, showing you can save another $100, $200, or even $500 a year, the process to switch is just as simple as the first time. All your information is already there. You review the quote, see the savings, and with a few taps you can confirm the switch. Jerry handles all the paperwork, the cancellation of your old policy, and the setup of the new one. It is a seamless, continuous cycle of savings. This is the core promise of Jerry. It's not just about finding you a cheap rate today. It's about ensuring you always have the cheapest rate for as long as you're driving. It's a fundamental shift in the balance of power, taking it away from the giant opaque corporations and putting it directly into your hands, right on your smartphone. It's the kind of proactive service we've come to expect from other tech in our lives. We have apps that find us the best price on a flight or a hotel. We have services that automatically invest our spare change. Why should our car insurance, one of our biggest recurring bills, be any different? Jerry says it shouldn't. So the app automates the shopping. It automates the reshopping. It automates the savings. It handles the complex comparisons and the annoying paperwork. It essentially becomes your personal, full-service insurance concierge. But what about the day-to-day stuff? What about managing your actual policy? Finding your ID cards when you get pulled over? Accessing your policy documents, or filing a claim? Surely for that, you still have to go back to the insurance company's clunky website or download their separate app, right? You think so. But Jerry has completely reimagined that experience too, consolidating everything you need into one single, elegant place. This is the magic of what Jerry calls your digital glove box. Think about your physical glove box right now. What's in there? Probably some old napkins, a tire pressure gauge you've never used, and if you're lucky, a crumpled, possibly expired insurance card from 2 years ago. When you get pulled over, it's a moment of pure panic. You're fumbling through that mess, heart pounding, praying you can find that little piece of paper. With Jerry, that entire nightmare scenario is gone. You just open the app, and right there, front and center, is your current valid digital insurance ID card. It's accepted in 49 out of 50 states. It's always up to date. You can pull it up in seconds, show it to the officer, and be on your way. The sheer peace of mind that comes from that one feature is worth its weight in gold. But it goes so much deeper. Your digital glove box isn't just for your ID card. It's the central command center for your entire policy. Remember that 20-page document Progressive or Geico emailed you when you signed up? The one with all the legal jargon you never read? It's in the Jerry app, neatly organized and easy to access. You don't have to search through your email inbox from 6 months ago. You need your policy number after a fender bender? It's right there. You want to double-check if you have rental car coverage before you go on vacation? You can see a simple, plain English breakdown of all your coverages: liability, collision, comprehensive, what they mean, and how much you have. Jerry demystifies your own insurance policy for you. And it's not just about insurance documents. The app securely stores your vehicle information, your VIN, your make, your model, your year. How many times have you been on the phone with a mechanic or an auto parts store and they ask for your VIN, and you have to run out to your car in the rain to read it off the dashboard? With Jerry, you just open the app. It's all there. This is a level of convenience that, once you have it, you can't imagine living without. It transforms the fragmented, annoying parts of car ownership into a single, streamlined experience. But here's where Jerry makes the leap from a convenient storage app to an indispensable car ownership partner. It's not just a place to view your information. It's a place to manage it. Let's say you sell your old Honda and buy a new Ford Explorer. What was the old process? You'd have to call your insurance company's 1-800 number. You'd navigate a phone tree, wait on hold for 25 minutes listening to terrible music, finally get a representative, and then spend another 15 minutes spelling out the new VIN, confirming your address for the 5th time, and listening to them try to upsell you on life insurance. It's an hour-long ordeal. With Jerry, you open the app. You tap Replace Vehicle. You can either type in the new car's information or, even better, just scan the VIN with your phone's camera. Jerry instantly pulls up all the car's details. You confirm, and in a matter of minutes, Jerry's licensed agents, real actual humans, get to work. They contact your insurance carrier, make the switch on your policy, and send you the updated documents and ID cards right in the app. You can do it from the dealership parking lot before you even drive your new car off the lot. That's not just an improvement. It's a revolution in how you interact with your own policy. The same goes for adding a new driver, like a teenager who just got their license, or changing your home address. What used to be a headache-inducing phone call is now a simple, fast, text-based request in an app you already use. Now let's talk about the moment every driver dreads: an accident. Your adrenaline is pumping, you're shaken up, and the last thing you want to do is navigate a corporate bureaucracy. Your insurance company's claims number isn't exactly something you have memorized. But again, you don't have to. You open the Jerry app. Jerry provides you with the direct claims hotline for your specific carrier, along with your policy number, so you have everything you need in one place. They provide a checklist of what to do at the scene of an accident. Take photos, exchange information, don't admit fault. They act as your guide in a moment of crisis, taking the guesswork and the panic out of a horrible situation. While Jerry isn't handling the claim itself, that's still the job of the insurance carrier you chose. They are the perfect bridge. They are the calm, organized assistant on your phone that helps you start the process correctly and with confidence. This proactive assistance extends beyond just your insurance. Jerry is designed to be a co-pilot for your entire car ownership journey. This is where it becomes a true super app for your car. For example, it tracks your car registration and driver's license expiration dates. How many people have been hit with a huge fine for driving with an expired registration simply because they forgot? Life gets busy, and those renewal notices get lost in the mail. Jerry sends you a notification well in advance, giving you a heads up that it's time to renew. It's like having a personal assistant whose sole job is to prevent you from making costly mistakes. They also help you manage the health of your car itself. The app can store your vehicle's maintenance history and even send you reminders for things like oil changes or tire rotations based on your car's recommended service schedule. They have a feature called Garage, where you can get fair price estimates for common repairs in your area, so you know you're not getting ripped off when you go to the mechanic. They can even help you track down and see if your vehicle has any open safety recalls, something many drivers are completely unaware of. This isn't just about saving money on insurance anymore. This is about saving money on repairs, avoiding fines, and keeping your car safer and more reliable. What Jerry has built is a comprehensive ecosystem. It starts with the promise of saving you money, which is what gets most people in the door. But it keeps you there by delivering unparalleled convenience and genuine, tangible value that simplifies every single aspect of owning a car. They've looked at all the frustrating, disconnected, and outdated processes that we've all just grudgingly accepted as the way things are, and they've fixed them, one by one, consolidating everything into a single powerful app on your phone. It's the difference between having a flip phone and having a smartphone. One makes calls, the other runs your life. Jerry aims to be the smartphone for your car. So, you get the best price automatically every year. You get a digital glove box that organizes all your critical information. You get a personal concierge service that handles policy changes with a few taps. And you get a proactive assistant that helps you manage the health and legal requirements of your vehicle. It's an incredibly compelling package. But it all hinges on technology. How does Jerry's AI actually find these quotes so fast? And with all of this sensitive information, your driver's license, your vehicle data, your address, all stored in one app, the single most important question has to be, is it safe? How do they protect your data? That's where their cutting-edge tech and bank-level security protocols become the foundation of everything they do. Let's start with that term, bank-level security. It's a phrase that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean in practice? For most of us, it conjures up images of thick vault doors and laser grids. And honestly, that's not a bad way to think about it. In the digital world, Jerry builds a fortress around your information, with layers upon layers of defense, each designed to protect you from a different kind of threat. The first layer, and perhaps the most important one, is encryption. Think of encryption as a secret language that only you and Jerry's servers can speak. From the exact moment you type your name into the app, to the second you hit find quotes, every single piece of data is scrambled into an unreadable code. This is called encryption in transit. It's like putting your personal information into a locked, armored truck for its journey across the internet. Even if a cybercriminal somehow managed to intercept that truck, all they would find inside is a pile of gibberish, a complex code that would take a supercomputer thousands of years to crack. But what about when your data arrives at its destination? What happens when it's sitting on Jerry's servers? That's where the second form of encryption comes in, encryption at rest. This means your information isn't just left sitting in a plain text file on a hard drive. It remains scrambled, locked away in that same secret language, waiting securely until it's needed. So even in the highly unlikely event of a physical breach of their servers, the data itself would be useless to thieves. It's a digital vault within a digital fortress. This is the standard for any serious tech company. But Jerry goes a critical step further. And this is the part that truly separates them from the lead generation websites you might be used to. They understand that the biggest risk isn't just about someone breaking in, but about how your data is used. When Jerry shops for quotes on your behalf, they don't just blast your name, address, and phone number out to dozens of insurance companies. Doing that would be the digital equivalent of stapling your personal info to a telephone pole. It's why so many other quote comparison sites result in your phone ringing off the hook with spam calls for the next 6 months. Instead, Jerry employs a sophisticated system of data anonymization and tokenization. Here's how to think about it. They create a kind of digital ghost of you. This ghost has all the information an insurance company needs to generate an accurate quote: your vehicle's make and model, your driving history, the zip code where the car is garaged, but it's stripped of your personally identifiable information. Your name, your email, your phone number? They're held back, kept securely inside Jerry's fortress. The insurance carriers are essentially given a puzzle piece, not the whole puzzle. They see the profile of a driver, and they provide a rate for that profile. They don't know it's you. Not yet. Only after you've reviewed all the quotes, compared the options, and decided, yes, this is the one I want. Only then does Jerry securely transmit the necessary personal information to that one single carrier you've chosen, completing the transaction. This single principle is the core of their privacy-first approach. You remain anonymous to the entire insurance market until the final moment when you choose to reveal yourself to your new provider. This is how they can promise no unwanted spam calls or emails from other insurance companies. They never had your contact info in the first place. But what about inside Jerry? Who has access to your data there? This is another area where their bank-level protocols are on full display. They operate on a principle known in the security world as least privileged access. This means that an employee at Jerry only has access to the absolute minimum amount of information required to do their job. A software engineer working on the app's user interface doesn't have access to customer policy data. A data analyst looking at market trends sees aggregated, anonymous statistics, not individual profiles. Access to sensitive customer information is restricted to a very small number of licensed agents and support staff who need it to, for example, help you finalize a policy or answer a specific question about your coverage. And every single time that data is accessed, it's logged, tracked, and audited. There's a permanent record of who looked at what, when, and why. This creates an incredibly high level of internal accountability and prevents the kind of casual data browsing that can happen in less secure environments. Now let's address the biggest question, the elephant in the room for any service that's free to the user. Are they selling my data? The answer is an unequivocal, emphatic no. And the reason isn't just a matter of ethics. It's fundamental to their entire business model. Jerry makes money in a very straightforward way. They act as a licensed insurance broker. When you decide to buy a policy through their app, the insurance carrier, be it Progressive, Nationwide, or any of their partners, pays Jerry a commission. That's it. That's the entire revenue stream. Their success is directly tied to how many customers they can help find a better, cheaper policy. Their product isn't your data. Their product is the service of finding you the right insurance. Selling your data would be completely counterproductive. It would destroy the trust they spend millions of dollars building. It would violate their core promise of no spam and a hassle-free experience. If word got out that using Jerry meant your information was being sold to the highest bidder, their business would evaporate overnight. Their financial incentive is perfectly aligned with your privacy incentive, to protect your data at all costs, because that trust is the most valuable asset they have. So when you piece it all together, you see a multi-layered security strategy designed to protect you from every angle. Encryption protects your data from outside attackers as it travels the internet and while it rests on their servers. Anonymization protects your privacy from the dozens of insurance carriers they shop with, preventing unwanted contact. Strict internal access controls protect your information from being mishandled from within. And a business model built on trust, not on selling data, ensures their goals are always aligned with yours. This robust framework of security and privacy is what allows the rest of the app to function so seamlessly. It's the invisible foundation that makes the entire experience possible. Because once you have that unshakable confidence that your personal information is locked down and being handled with the utmost respect, you're free to actually enjoy the process of saving money. With that peace of mind established, we can explore what happens when you move beyond just shopping and actually become a Jerry customer. Because the app does far more than just find you a quote. It aims to be your all-in-one digital garage for everything related to your car. And the features they've built to manage your policies, your vehicle documents, and even your maintenance are where the long-term value really begins to shine. Let's peel back the layers of this digital garage, because this is where Jerry transitions from a one-time shopping tool into a long-term co-pilot for your car ownership journey. Think about the current state of your car-related documents. For most of us, it's a chaotic mess. The insurance card is probably crammed in a glove compartment that's overflowing with old napkins and ketchup packets. Your vehicle registration might be in a folder somewhere in your house, or maybe it's in that one important documents drawer that's become a black hole of random paperwork. Your car's maintenance records? They might be a collection of greasy receipts from your mechanic, if you even kept them at all. This disorganization isn't just an inconvenience. It's a liability. Imagine getting pulled over and fumbling frantically for an expired insurance card. Or trying to sell your car and having zero proof of its service history, which can tank its resale value by hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. Jerry's solution to this is elegantly simple. The digital wallet. It's a centralized, secure hub within the app for all of your most critical documents. You upload your insurance ID cards, your vehicle registration, and your driver's license. Suddenly, everything is on your phone, accessible in seconds. You're at the DMV and they ask for your proof of insurance? It's right there. You're in the unfortunate situation of a fender bender and need to exchange information? All your policy details are at your fingertips. This isn't just about convenience. It's about control and peace of mind. It eliminates those moments of panic where you're digging through a messy glove box on the side of the road, heart pounding. It transforms that chaotic junk drawer of paperwork into a streamlined digital file cabinet that travels with you. But the digital garage goes much deeper than just storing documents. It proactively manages the health and safety of your vehicle itself. This is where the app provides value that has absolutely nothing to do with your insurance premium. One of its most powerful and frankly underrated features is the Vehicle Recall Monitor. Car manufacturers issue millions of recalls every year for safety defects, from faulty airbags to fire risks. The problem is, the notification system is archaic. They send a postcard in the mail. A postcard. In a world of digital everything, they're relying on a piece of paper that can easily get lost, mistaken for junk mail, or sent to an old address. As a result, millions of Americans are unknowingly driving cars with dangerous, unfixed safety defects. Jerry bypasses this broken system. By linking your car's vehicle identification number, or VIN, to the app, it constantly scans national safety databases for you. If a recall is issued for your specific make, model, and year, you get an instant notification on your phone. It tells you exactly what the problem is, what the risks are, and what the next steps are to get it fixed by the dealer for free. This feature alone can be a literal lifesaver. It's a safety net you didn't even know you needed, working silently in the background to protect you and your family. And it doesn't stop at safety. The app also becomes your personal maintenance assistant. It tracks your mileage and uses your car's factory-recommended service schedule to send you reminders for crucial maintenance. It'll tell you when it's time for an oil change, a tire rotation, or a more significant service milestone. Why is this so important? Because proper maintenance is the single biggest factor in extending the life of your car and avoiding catastrophic, wallet-draining repairs. A forgotten 10,000-mile service can eventually lead to a $4,000 transmission failure. Skipping a $50 oil change can destroy a $7,000 engine. Jerry helps you stay ahead of these problems, turning expensive, reactive repairs into cheap, proactive maintenance. It even helps you track the value of your car over time and provides an estimated cost of ownership, so you have a realistic picture of what you're spending. Now you might be thinking, why is an insurance broker doing all of this? What's in it for them? And that is the absolute right question to ask. The answer reveals the brilliance of their business model. It's all about risk reduction and customer retention. A well-maintained car is less likely to break down and cause an accident. A driver who is aware of a safety recall and gets it fixed is a lower risk to insure. By providing these tools, Jerry is subtly helping you become a safer, more responsible driver. And safer drivers cost insurance companies less money in claims, which in turn allows Jerry to negotiate better rates for its user base in the long run. But the more immediate goal is retention. They know that if they can solve real, tangible problems for you beyond just finding a cheap quote once a year, you'll have no reason to leave. If the app becomes your go-to hub for managing your car's entire life cycle, from documents to maintenance to safety, it becomes indispensable. It creates what's known in the tech world as stickiness. You're not just a customer, you're an integrated user of a valuable service. They're betting that the value you get from the digital garage is so high that when it's time to renew your insurance, you won't even think about going anywhere else. You'll just let Jerry handle it, because it's already proven its worth in a dozen other ways throughout the year. This is the fundamental shift. Traditional insurance is a transactional relationship. You pay them, they pay you if something bad happens, and you hope you never have to talk to each other. Jerry is trying to build a relational platform. They want to be a constant, helpful presence in your automotive life. It's a service that works for you every day, Not just on the day you have an accident. They're not just selling you a policy, they're selling you a system for better car ownership. It's a powerful proposition that completely reframes what an insurance company, or in this case, a broker, can be. Of course, with all this data integration and proactive management, from your VIN number to your driving habits in some cases, it raises profound questions. We've seen the good, the convenient, the sheer utility of a platform that knows so much about you and your vehicle. But it forces us to confront the other side of the coin. What are the trade-offs for this level of convenience? In a world where our data is the new currency, what exactly are we paying for this free service? And as we look at the entire ecosystem Jerry has built, the lightning-fast quotes, the automated shopping, the digital garage, a final crucial picture begins to form. We need to synthesize all of this information to answer the most important questions of all. Who is Jerry truly for? And perhaps more critically, who is it absolutely not for? Let's build a profile of the ideal Jerry user. Let's call her the efficiency expert. This person isn't necessarily a tech genius, but they are tech comfortable. They use apps to order groceries, manage their finances, and book travel. Their most valuable, non-renewable resource is time. The idea of spending a Saturday morning calling 3 different insurance agents, repeating their VIN and driving history over and over, sounds like a special kind of nightmare. For the efficiency expert, the value of Jerry isn't just about saving $100 a year. It's about saving 4 hours of their life every 6 months. It's the cognitive offloading, the ability to delegate a tedious but necessary task to an algorithm that never gets tired and never forgets to check. This person likely has a straightforward insurance situation. 1 or 2 modern cars, a clean driving record, maybe a standard homeowner's or renter's policy they'd like to bundle. They see their car as a utility, a way to get from point A to point B reliably. The digital garage feature is perfect for them. They don't want to dig through a filing cabinet for their last oil change receipt. They want an app to remind them that their recall notice is still pending, and their registration is due next month. They trust the process. They understand that by giving Jerry their data, they are receiving a service of immense convenience. The AI finds a policy from a reputable carrier that saves them money. It's a good deal. They tap a few buttons, sign digitally, and their new insurance cards are in the app, ready to go. The process is frictionless, and for the efficiency expert, friction is the enemy. They aren't looking for a lifelong relationship with an insurance agent. They're looking for a transaction that is as painless and efficient as possible. If Jerry can deliver that, it's a massive win. Now let's flip the coin. Let's create a profile for whom Jerry is, quite frankly, a terrible fit. We'll call him the relationship builder. This person has been with the same local insurance agent for 15 years. His name is Bob. The relationship builder knows Bob's kids' names. When his son got his driver's license, he didn't fill out a form online. He called Bob. Bob walked him through the options, explained the implications for his policy, and found a way to add his son without the premiums going into the stratosphere. When a tree branch fell on his roof last spring, he didn't file a claim through an app. He called Bob. Bob told him which restoration companies to trust, and helped him navigate the claims process with a human touch. For the relationship builder, insurance isn't a commodity. It's a relationship built on trust and personalized advice. He has complex needs, maybe a classic car in the garage that requires a specialized agreed value policy, an umbrella policy to protect his assets, and a small business he runs out of his home. These are nuances that an algorithm might struggle with. The idea of handing over all of his personal information to an AI, only to be presented with a list of quotes from companies he's never heard of, is deeply unsettling. He wants to ask what-if questions. He wants to talk through scenarios. He wants the counsel of a professional he trusts, not the cold, hard data of an algorithm. Jerry's model, which actively removes the human agent from the shopping process, is the antithesis of what he values. For him, the time spent talking to Bob isn't a waste. It's an investment in peace of mind. Jerry would feel impersonal, shallow, and ultimately untrustworthy. And here lies the fundamental divide. Jerry is built for a transactional world. It excels at optimizing a specific, well-defined task, finding the lowest price for a standard insurance product. It is not built for a relational world, where advice, trust, and long-term partnership are the primary drivers of value. So, where do most of us fall? Likely somewhere in the middle. Maybe you value convenience, but you're also a little wary of AI. Maybe you have a simple policy now, but you're planning on buying a house and starting a family soon, and you know your needs will get more complex. This is where we have to get critical about Jerry's limitations. The first major limitation is the absence of professional counsel. An algorithm can compare prices based on the data you give it, but it can't give you advice. It can't look at your entire financial picture and say, you know, with your assets, you are dangerously underinsured on your liability limits. You should really consider an umbrella policy. A good human agent does that. Jerry's AI can tell you what's cheapest. It can't necessarily tell you what's wisest. For a young person with a simple renter's policy and a 2015 Honda Civic, this might not matter. For a family with a mortgage, 2 cars, and a retirement account, that advice could be the difference between a minor inconvenience and financial ruin after a major accident. The second critique centers on the depth of the search. Jerry partners with dozens of carriers, which is impressive, but it's not the entire market. There are still some major national players and countless smaller, regional insurance companies that aren't on their platform. A truly independent human agent can, in theory, quote from any company willing to work with them. It's possible, though perhaps not probable, that your absolute best rate is with a company that Jerry simply doesn't have access to. You're getting the best price within the Jerry ecosystem, which is a crucial distinction. And finally, there's the issue of the claim. This is the moment of truth for any insurance product. When you use Jerry, you buy a policy from, say, Progressive or Allstate. Jerry is not your insurer. When you have an accident, you are not dealing with Jerry. You are dealing with the claims department of the underlying carrier. While Jerry can provide your policy documents and a number to call, their role in the claims process itself is minimal. They are the matchmaker, not the partner who holds your hand through the crisis. For some, that's perfectly fine. For others, particularly those who chose Jerry to avoid dealing with big insurance companies in the first place, this can be a jarring realization. You outsource the shopping, but you cannot outsource the claim. So, what is the final verdict on Jerry Auto Insurance? It is not a scam. It is a legitimate venture-backed technology company that has built a genuinely useful tool for a specific type of consumer. It is a powerful aggregator and a convenient management platform. It represents a very real and likely irreversible shift in the insurance industry toward automation and app-based interaction. Jerry is for the person who sees insurance as a necessary, price-sensitive commodity, and who prioritizes time and convenience above all else. It is for the digitally native consumer, who is comfortable trading data for efficiency and has straightforward coverage needs. Jerry is absolutely not for the person who views insurance as a cornerstone of their financial protection, and who values personalized advice and a human relationship. It is not for the individual with complex, unique, or high-value assets that require nuanced coverage. Ultimately, the rise of a service like Jerry forces us to ask a fundamental question about what we want from the companies we do business with. Do we want a tool, or do we want a guide? Do we want an algorithm, or do we want an advisor? 10 years ago, that question might have seemed absurd in the context of insurance. Today, it's the central debate. Jerry has placed its bet firmly on the side of the algorithm. It has built a sleek, efficient, and data-driven machine designed to solve one problem: the high cost and high friction of shopping for insurance. And for millions of people, that is the only problem that needs solving. The real test won't be whether it can save you money on your next renewal, but how this model adapts as the simple needs of its users inevitably become more complex. The future of insurance isn't just about who can offer the lowest price. It's about who can build the most trust, whether that trust is placed in a friendly local agent or in the flawless logic of a billion lines of code.